Hey folks, it's Piano Man Steve here, creator of the Piano Man Approach online piano course and founder of learningmusicisfun.com. Hope you're having a great day. This is a free tutorial that we're doing for one of my all-time favorite songs, Billy Joel's Rosalinda's Eyes from the 52nd Street album in 1978. And we're going to have some fun on this one. Normally we learn songs on a typical piano sound, but this he played Fender Rhodes electric piano on, and it sounds to me like there was a phaser effect. So we're going to be learning on this sound instead. So it's a little exotic today. Quickly, before we get into the tutorial, I would invite you, if you enjoy this video and some of the other videos that I've posted on my channel, I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe this. It really helps me move up in the search rankings. And also, once you subscribe, there's a little bell there, and if you click it, you'll get notifications when I put out new content. So if you're enjoying that, fantastic. I'd really appreciate your help that way. And if you're really enjoying it, I would invite you to consider some digital gratuity. I've got a couple options in the description, both Venmo and PayPal. Not required, always appreciated, helps keep the lights on and help me putting out new content. So I will now stop talking. There's going to be a very quick fade out, fade in transition, and we'll bring up the keyboard on the screen so that you can see it, and we'll start learning Rosalinda's Eyes right now. Okay, well, I guess the first thing we better learn is the intro of this song. It's also the outro of the song. It's also something that pops up in between the when you get done with a chorus and then go into another verse or whatever. So it shows up quite a few times. And I would also invite you, in the description, I have some chapters so that you can skip around, because we'll learn the intro in this chapter, we'll learn the verse in another chapter, the chorus in another chapter, the bridge in another chapter. So it'll be a little easier for you to navigate by looking down there and seeing where to jump forward in the timeline. So what are we doing in this intro? Well, this is what it looks like at full speed, and then we'll break it down. We're going to learn how to do this. So that's what it looks like at full speed. That's what we're going to be looking at in this section. So, beg your pardon? What is it that is going on? Let's take the left hand first. Now, the tricky thing with this really is that the left hand and the right hand, I don't think they're doing particularly difficult things as difficult things go, but they're kind of operating in two different chords. And so that's where my brain had some issues and where I really had to practice for a while to get up to speed with this one, because the right hand is kind of arpeggiating a G chord and the left hand is arpeggiating an A chord. So the left hand is on this A. Here's middle C. And it looks like this. A, E, A. So just going A, E, A, then B, F sharp. Da, 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 da. Okay? Then it goes down to an E, E, B, E. And then F sharp, and then F sharp up the octave. And then it goes to an F. F, C, F, F. Okay? F, C, F, F, C, F, C, F, C, F. So here's what it looks like. Nice and slow, just the left hand, the whole line. Okay. Now here's what the right hand is doing, and then I'll give you plenty of chances to see them working together. Okay, so here's middle C. We're going to be positioned here with your thumb on D, and we're going to arpeggiate up on a G chord. D, G, B, like so. And then we find A and C sharp, like this. And then C sharp and E. Then it goes to, we're right here still, D. We arpeggiate up on a D chord. B, F sharp, A. And then we find G sharp and B together. And after that, it's G sharp and E together. So. And then it's back to a G chord. D, G, B. And then B and D together, A and C together, G and B together, F and A together, G and B together, A and C together, back to B and D, back here, and then F and A one more time. One more time. Okay. Now when you put them together, that's where, especially slow, it kind of sounds a little bit weird. So this is a kind of a brain twister. Okay, one more time. Again. Okay, so you do that twice, and then we do the exact same thing except we drop the left hand down an octave. Okay, so like I say, brain twister. Just spend some time trying to get through that a few times and then do it on repeat. You're going to do it twice with your left hand at this octave and then twice with your left hand at this octave, and it's going to look like this. I'm going to play it slower than full tempo, but at a steady pace. Okay, so then when you do get it up to speed, it'll be like this. Okay, and then you're ready to move into the verse. So we're going to have one of my brilliantly edited and produced blackout and fade back in transitions, and then I'll see you there momentarily where we will learn how to play the verse. All right, welcome back. I know that was a really long transition. We're going to look at the verse here, and this is what we're going to be learning. Okay, now you'll notice there's actually kind of a lot of held notes because this song's got a lot of percussion going on and other things, so he's not doing a ton rhythmically with that Fender Rhodes. In fact, mostly he's holding those notes by design because it's creating a texture for the overall song, holding it, and then he's got a guitar strumming, an acoustic guitar strumming, some other stuff. So in terms of the rhythmic aspect of this, it's not that difficult to play, but he's got some really cool kind of jazzy chords, and the voicings matter. So we start out on a G. We start on a G augmented chord. So the left hand is going to be on a G, and it's going to go like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're thinking of it as 1, 2, 3, 4. And I would think of that tempo as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's a little easier then in your mind to subdivide where the occasional rhythmic note goes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. See how I just came down, up and down with my thumb there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then C, 2, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, B flat, 4, E flat, A flat, D, D. Okay? So that's where the left hand is going. Here's the right hand, because you'll get to see both of them together. The right hand starts on a G augmented chord. B, D sharp, G. And then it goes to a C major 7 chord, which we're going to play, and it's going to look kind of like an E minor chord because the left hand has got the C in it. So B, E, G. And then it goes to an F9, which is A, C, E flat, and G. And then it goes to a B flat major 7. Okay? Which looks like a D minor chord for the right hand because you're playing the root B flat down here. So A, D, F. And in that, at the end, you have your first little rhythmic, interesting thing to do with the right hand when you get here. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and F, A, C, D, F. And it's 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay? So let's just go that far with both hands so you can see what's going on. Now the next thing that happens is that the right hand comes down on a D flat chord over an E flat bass in the left hand. So you're going to play A flat, D, F. resolves down to an A flat major 7 chord, which in the right hand looks kind of like a C minor. G, C, E flat. A flat in the bass. And then it goes to a D suspended 2 suspended 4 7 chord, which is a complicated way of saying it's like a C chord, G, C, E, over a D bass. Just like that. And then I'm going to show you a little maneuver he does there, but let's get that far with both hands just so you can see what's going on. Okay, now where he goes here is this very kind of fun, because it shifts from this D, the C chord over the top of it like this, to what they call a D sharp 9 chord, which basically means it's got both the major 3 and the minor 3 in it. And he does a kind of a fun little maneuver. He goes like so. So what is he doing there? 1, 2, and F sharp, C, and then he kind of goes back to this and uses it like a catapult. 1, 2, 3, and. So it's da, da, up to an F natural. So we were F sharp down here. And then he does the same catapult thing with the C. And C, F, C. And then right back to this, because the verse just repeats that sequence. So let me play it through a few times, nice and slow, okay? Both hands. Okay, let's try it even a little slower. One more time. Okay, and then when you get it up to speed, it'll look like this. now you're ready for the chorus. So let's have a little fade out transition, and then we will get into what we do in the chorus. I'll see you there momentarily. Okay, let's take a look at the chorus here. This is where we're saying, crazy Latin dancing solo down in Herald Square. Okay? What's happening here at full speed looks like so. Okay, so that's what's going on in the chorus. Let's take a look at it hand by hand here. So the first chord is actually a G, but it's over a B bass. So the left hand is going to be going B, B, C, C, G, G, D, D, B. I'm just going to repeat it. B, C, C, G, G, D, D, B, B, C, C, B, B, C sharp, C sharp, D, D, D sharp, D sharp, E, D, C, D, G, 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 G. Okay? So that's what the left hand is doing. The right hand we're going to look at separately, and then I'll give you plenty of chances to see the two working together nice and slow. So the right hand is on a G chord, B, D, G. And it's basically playing quarter notes. G, G. Then it goes to this C added 9 chord, C, D, G. Then back to a G chord. Then it goes to a D chord, A, D, F sharp. And it's got kind of a syncopated rhythm there. 1, 1, 2, 3, and on that syncopation it goes to a C chord, C, E, G. So it looks like this. Then it repeats that exact phrasing. Then it goes to G, then the C added 9 like that. Then back to G. Then it goes to an A7, A, C sharp, E7, or excuse me, A, C sharp, E, G. That is the 7. Then it's G. And then it's a B7, B, D sharp, F sharp, A. And then it's an E minor 7. You're playing the E in the bass, so you're just playing B, D, G up here. So this, then D, A, D, F sharp. And then it's a C chord, C, E, G. And then it goes to a D suspended 7, C, D, G, then G. So let's take a look at these two hands together up to that point, and then I'll show you a little fun fill that he does at the end with his right hand. Okay? Looks like this. Now notice I did add a little grace note there. You can do this. Okay, but you can use that A, you were here, you can use that A with your thumb as a little slingshot into that syncopated A, C chord. Probably more what Billy was doing. It's kind of hard to hear in this particular song because this voice kind of blends into the mix so much, and there's also vibraphone happening, so you get confused what's the vibraphone and what's the Fender Rhodes, but that's probably what he was doing. He's kind of a syncopated player that way. So just bringing that to your attention. Here we go. Okay, so let's just run through that a couple more times, and then I'll show you the last little fill. But I think that's plenty in one spot to digest. Nice and slow. Again. Okay, one more time, super slow, and then I'm going to show you that final little fill. Okay, so what happens there at the tail end is when we get to that G chord, one, two, three, and four, 1, 2, 3. And it's A, B, D, G, A, B. Neat little fill. And the nice thing is that it's really just taking a G added 9 chord and arpeggiating it up. So 1, 2, 3, and 1. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3. And you can finger it kind of however you want, but I would recommend thumb, index, middle, and then shifting your hand up and then playing like middle, ring, pinky, there. Okay, so at full speed, it looks like this. And sometimes I literally do just go and play it with my pinky. Probably not very good technique, but I do it. So if that's what feels comfortable for you, I say go for it. So that is the chorus. So what we're going to learn in the next section is the strange little bridge where we have some unusual chords. Kind of go and take a left turn. And then after that, we'll learn how to wrap the song up. So I will see you in the next section after one of my brilliantly edited fade in, fade outs. Okay, let's take a look at the bridge here. Take a left turn and kind of go into some places we haven't gone chord progression wise, and it's really pretty interesting chords. So it looks like this. We're coming out of that second chorus, and it looks like into a verse. Okay? So, what is going on? Coming out of that second chorus, we were on a G here. Now it goes to an E flat. Now we're going to follow the same rhythm that we were doing before with the left hand, which is 1, 4, 1, 4, 1. Okay? Except on that, during this, we want a nice kind of like sustained kind of like we're holding. There's always something kind of being held a little bit. So with only your thumb, do the syncopation. 1, 2, 4, 1. So E flat, D, D, C, C, B flat, B flat, A. Then A again, D, G, C, A, and it's like that. It goes A, 2, 3, then D. Then this is the verse. We go back to a G. Okay? You'll get a chance to see that with the right hand. So now we were here. Now playing an E flat major 7 chord, and in the right hand it looks kind of like a G minor. B flat, D, G. And then it goes to a D minor 7. A, C, F, like that. Then to a C major 7. So G, B, E. Then to a B flat major 7, F, A, D, like so. And then to an A major 7, G sharp, C sharp, E. So we went. There's an interesting little fill that he does. It looks like this. So what's going on is that your pinky is on this E and it plays the rhythm the entire time, but it stays on that one note. Da, 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 da. And under here, your index finger is going to go G sharp, A, and then your middle finger comes down on B, then back down to A, then G sharp, A, B. Okay, so let's look up to that point. now goes to an A minor 7. That's G, C, E in the right hand, and we're already on an A down here. And then it goes to a really strange chord. This is a D suspended 7 with a flatted 9. For those of you that care about that sort of thing, it looks like this: A, C, E flat. So this is your D suspended 7, A, C, and G. Okay, because a D7 would be like this. We suspend it by raising it to a G, and then your 9 is E, and we're flatting it to an E flat. So A, C, E flat, G. So we were on A minor 7. Then we go to a G major 7. G, B, D, F sharp. And then it goes to a C9. So we've got B flat, D, G over a C bass. So we were here. So let's take a look at that after A minor 7. That goofy thing. And then it goes to an A minor, C, it's A, C, E, and your thumb is going to go, you're going to play the whole chord 3 times, da, 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 except your thumb is going to move. It's going to move from A minor, then your thumb's going to go to a G sharp, and then down to a G. And then it's going to land on a D in the bass, and you're going to play F sharp, B, and E, and this finger is going to do the movement, and it's again, da, 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 okay? And it's B, B flat, A. Okay, so let's take a look at just after we get through the... So it went A minor. Okay, so let's look at that whole section from beginning to end, nice and slow a couple of times, just so you can see it in action, and then we'll play it at full speed. And then in the next section, I'm going to show you how to string all this together into the song, because you will have learned everything you need to know to play the whole song. So we're coming out of that second chorus. E flat major 7 now. There's the beginning of the last verse. A couple more times, nice and slow. Again. one more time because I think I had a little glitch there with my keyboard, but no big deal. But just one more time, and then we'll move on. E flat major 7. Okay, so when you play it at full speed, it's going to look something like this, coming out of that second chorus. Another verse. Tell you what, guys, I always think I know how to play these songs before I start a tutorial, but by the time I get done with one of these, I don't know whether you've learned them, but I sure have. That's great. I mean, it always really like drills it into me what it is I'm supposed to be playing. So, okay, I will see you in the next section. We're going to string all these parts together, turn it into the song, and I'll show you how to end it. So, I'll see you there. We're just about done with this sucker. All right, well, let's string all these pieces together and turn it into a song, because now you've learned every part of the song, and I'll show you how I like to get out of it. So we start out with the introduction. Then we drop the octave. Now we're on to the verse. Now to the chorus. Now back to the intro. Back to a verse. Then it's back to here, sorry. Back to chorus. a verse. Back to a chorus again. Now to the intro thing. Now back to a chorus again. Back to the intro. Now the way that it ends on the recording is that it just kind of fades out on this. So you play this several times, however many times you feel like. Like to do is I decide when I'm ready to be done, I go back to the G augmented chord, just like a verse. And then I just sort of do a reverse arpeggio down on a C major 7. Meaning I start at the top of it and go nice and fast. And then I might come up a couple octaves and do a little on the same chord. So I've come out of. And that's how I end the song. You have just learned Rosalinda's Eyes by Billy Joel. I feel kind of bad that it's taken me this long to teach it, but I think Rosalinda understands. If you don't get that joke, either I'm a really bad joke teller or you're not really a Billy Joel fan. Listen to this song. You'll get it. Okay, but thank you for sharing your time with me. I hope you found this useful. I found it to be a lot of fun, and I really enjoy playing this song. Again, if you enjoyed this video, I would hope that I could encourage you to like and subscribe to my channel down there. And if you want to get notifications about when I put new content like this out, once you subscribe, there's a little bell right next to it that you can click, and that will ensure that you do get notifications when I put something new out. I would be honored to have you in that category. And if you really enjoy my style of teaching, you might very well enjoy my online course, The Piano Man Approach, where I teach you how to learn songs rather than just one specific song at a time. Stuff like Rosalinda's Eyes has some signatures in it that are fun to use these kinds of tutorials for, but there's a process that you can use to learn any song in about 5 minutes, at least the bulk of it. Maybe not the signature lines, but just the chords and the lyrics will get you so far, and you can play a competent version of it in like 5 minutes. You just need to know how to apply them properly. I teach how to do that step by step. So you might want to check that out down in the links. I've got a webinar you can watch for free and some free stuff so that you can get an idea of what it's all about. And of course, if you really enjoyed yourself, I would appreciate your digital tips. Not required, just appreciated. They're down there in the description as well. So, time for me to get out of here. Thank you so much. And remember, if you are not having fun when you're making music, you're doing it wrong. I'm Piano Man Steve Lungrin, and I'm signing out of here. See you guys.